Let's say that aliens invaded Earth, and one soldier stood up and was leading a revolution, and you asked him how he planned on defeating this alien race that was superior in every way, that you couldn't even touch them, and they could just bombard humanity from Earth's orbit. And the soldier raised a shiny Bud Light beer can in the air and screamed, "With this." Would you follow him? Well, that's exactly what happens in the Expeditionary Force and how this series actually gets started. Now, this series is 18 books long, and I've read books 1 through 3 as well as the novella, which the series calls Book 3.5. So it has 18 books. It's the main novels are 16 books long. There's the novella, Book 3.5, as well as a Maverick series that's a spin-off of it, and another novelization called Homefront. I haven't read any of those. I've just read the Expeditionary Force books 1 through 3 and 3.5, just like I stated. I'm going to read this entire series, including the spin-off series, and as I read them, I will be reviewing them in chunks just like this one. So this is the author, Craig Allen, and he's an American author, best known for the Expeditionary Force, which I'm reviewing here. It's a New York Times best-selling science fiction series, and he began writing in his spare time as a self-published author back for Amazon back in 2016. So you indie authors will love this, because this is basically a success story of an indie author. And Alanson's success with self-publishing allowed him to transition to full-time writing as an actual career. His works are characterized by a blend of humor, action, and adventure, often within the science fiction genre, and he also uses humor to explore the larger themes and ideas, making his stories accessible to a broad audience, which is why he's so successful. This series, The Expeditionary Force, is a cornerstone of his work, featuring a group of human soldiers facing an alien invasion, with a focus on their interactions and the development of unlikely friendships. With his self-published journey, Alanson's experience with self-publishing actually demonstrates the potential for authors to build a successful career independently, though it does require significant effort in marketing and promotion. While X-Force remains as his most prominent series, Alanson has also explored other genres, including urban fantasy with the Convergence series. I haven't read that yet, but seeing as I'm loving the Expeditionary Force so much, I'll definitely give it a shot. So, the Expeditionary Force series by Craig Alanson centers on the unlikely partnership between a human soldier, Joe Bishop, and a powerful ancient AI named Skippy. And as they navigate a galactic war against the Ruhar, the key aspects include the development of their relationship, the introduction of diverse alien species, and the exploration of themes like survival, duty, and the complexities of leadership. And the book begins with humanity's first contact with an alien race, and it's this little guy here. It's the Ruhar. They basically look like giant hamsters, and they're at war with another group called the Kristang. And Earth is kind of caught in the crossfire, and the series explores humanity's struggle for survival against the technology of a superior foe. And the reason why they come to Earth in the first place is a wormhole opens up near Earth, and this is a planet that neither race has really explored, so they kind of race each other towards Earth to see who could be there the first, and the first ones there are, surprise, surprise, the Ruhar. So, Joe Bishop, a U.S. Army specialist, becomes entangled with Skippy, an AI with immense power and a penchant for sarcasm. Their partnership is initially reluctant but evolves into a strong bond as they face escalating threats. And the reason why they call him Skippy is because basically he acts like, and I won't say the whole word because I don't want my channel to be booted, but he acts like an a-hole. So the book actually introduces a wide variety of alien races. Some of these include the Kristang, the Thranin, and the Ruhar, and others, forcing the human characters to forge alliances and navigate political landscapes, very complex political landscapes, as their real only power is political, because in this book, it's basically modern day humans. We can barely get into space, and these alien races, they're jumping from star to star using wormholes and highly complex technology that, I mean, they can bombard us from orbit, and we can do nothing like that. So really, the humanity's only power and way around this is political. So that there is politics in this book, but like I stated in He Who Fights with Monsters, it doesn't actually interfere with the plot line and the story structure of the actual series. Then the book goes on to highlight key elements of survival and duty, because the characters actually find themselves questioning duty and honor and sacrifice and cost of war, and whether it's worth it or not. And it also goes on about team dynamics, because for humanity to kind of fight back against all of these highly advanced alien races, they actually have to band together as a team and stop fighting each other. And they have to find ways to make the alien race's reliance on their technology an actual bad thing, like it's a crutch. And the book actually goes into that quite well. So, with Columbus Day, the first book in Craig Alanson's Expeditionary Force series, it excels in its blend of military science fiction, humor, with a strong focus on character development, like I was going on, particularly the dynamic between Joe Bishop and the AI Skippy. The book is praised for its engaging plot, strong world building, witty dialogue, making it a highly entertaining read. And this is when I looked into other reviews before I actually dipped into the book. Some of the strengths that this book has is its engaging plot and pacing. To kind of go over the plot and the pacing, the book actually starts off as the Ruhar invading Earth, and Joe Bishop jumping in a Barney dinosaur suit, driving an ice cream truck, trying to defend Earth, because he kind of figured that Barney the dinosaur suit, as the alien races won't know who Barney was, he kind of figured that Barney would look ferocious and intimidating to them somehow. And this actually ends up throughout the whole series, people knowing Bishop as Barney, because that's all anybody ever knows him as, because of course that's going to go viral when humanity does not end. People are going to share that video, recordings of you fighting an alien race in a Barney outfit, driving an ice cream van, and they're gonna spread it throughout the entire galaxy. Like it's actually pretty funny. One of my favorite strengths of the series is its humor and wit. Alanson masterfully blends humor into the serious subject matter of science fiction, with Skippy's witty commentary and the characters' banter providing a lighthearted counterpart to the intense battles and strategic challenges. For example, the ship that they end up commandeering is a Thoranin ship, which is their technology is far superior even to the Kristangs, which is far superior to humans. So you can just imagine what the Thoranin technology looks like. And when humans commandeer a Thoranin ship with the aid of Skippy, you can just imagine like what that's like. Skippy actually compares it to a bunch of monkeys flying around the galaxy in a banana. And which is the reason for this picture. And the book also successfully incorporates elements of military science fiction with detailed description of weapons, tactics, and combat situations, appealing to fans of the genre. And I find that the narrative also establishes a believable and interesting fictional universe with details about the alien races, technology, and galactic politics. And when you follow the book around, you can almost map out where they're going in the universe and the different stars and planets that they visit, trying to look for old technology of a secret race that I won't really mention here because I don't want to provide any spoilers. But it very much has a Mass Effect type feel to it. The way they kind of incorporate an older dead species that's leaving behind secret technology. So that's a few of the strengths of the book series, and it is an excellent series. It's very funny, probably the funniest books I've ever read. But it does have its weaknesses, such as the repetitive dialogue between Jill and Skippy. Basically, what ends up happening is the human race is in terrible danger, and they look for Skippy to save them. Skippy can't. This a very intelligent AI can't ever find a way to do it. And he basically says the human race is doomed, but somehow Joe Bishop, this average guy with far below average intelligence, somehow thinks of a way to save the human race that an extremely intelligent and highly advanced AI can't think of. And then goes on that Skippy says, I hate my life. I just want to end it now because a stupid monkey thought of something that I couldn't think of. And it's Joe basically rubbing it in, and it's rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Now, I've just finished 4 books, 3 books, and 1 novella. So they call the novella book 3.5. So I've read books 1 through 3.5, and it's basically rinse and repeat of that. And I'm finding it humorous and entertaining right now. But again, just like I mentioned at the very beginning of this video, there's 18 books of this. So if he keeps this up through 18 books, it's going to be very hard. And if you can hear my daughter in the background, she's 3 years old, and daughters are loud. So I just wrote some notes down of some of the weaknesses of this book. One I have is a formulaic plot structure. Something bad happens, Joe has a plan, Skippy saves the day. It can feel predictable and detract from the sense of real danger and suspense, just like I mentioned. Some readers find the characters, especially Joe, to be bland and unoriginal with a lack of depth beyond their assigned personality traits. Basically, that the characters feel one-dimensional. When I was reading through some of the reviews on Goodreads, that's pretty much the main knock against it that I found. There's a lot of people that actually find Joe to be very one-dimensional, Skippy to be one-dimensional, because of their repetitive dialogue. While the overall or overarching plot of the secret alien species that leaves hidden technology, I'm not going to say who they are, but again, it does give it a very heavy Mass Effect feel. But between the overarching plot of the secret alien species and Skippy's origins to that secret alien species is intriguing. It is slowly revealed, very slowly revealed, which can be frustrating for some readers who want a more immediate answer. So you have a question, and sometimes that question is not even answered in the book that you're reading. Sometimes you have to wait multiple books to find that answer. Filler content. Some readers feel that large portions of the books are irrelevant to the main plot, acting as filler rather than contributing to the story's progression. So, with filler, I'm going to get into book 3.5 last, because, I mean, it's 3.5. But basically, book 3.5, if you look into reviews of that book, there's a lot of people that feel that book is an entire filler book, that it doesn't really have anything to do with the main storyline. Joe Bishop and Skippy aren't even into the novella 3.5. So there is that. And some reviews mention that the ending of the overall series is lackluster, leaving the plot threads unresolved and failing to fully satisfy. So I wanted to put that in there because I mean, with when you go into the reviews, you're gonna see people review the entire series on book one, giving it a spoiler. But I haven't read the series fully. I'm hoping that that's not the case. But that is something I found when reading through reviews of books 1, 2, and 3.5. So we're going to get into the second book now. The second book is called Spec Ops, and it's still humorous, and it's still engaging. The back and forth between Joe and Skippy, it hasn't dried up in book 2. I've read up to book 3.5. It hasn't even dried up in book 3.5. Which book 3.5 Joe and Skippy aren't in there, so I should say it hasn't even dried up in book 3. But anyway, what I was basically stating earlier is that if it continued through 18 books without having any kind of evolution or a different take, it's definitely gonna dry up and seem overused. But the series is known for its lighthearted and humorous tone, though, with the dynamic between Joe and Skippy being the particular highlight. Their witty banter and overall comedic elements make the story very enjoyable and super easy to get into. Alanson crafts a complex story, in my opinion, with the well-developed scenes that kept me invested. The plot builds upon the foundation that's laid in the first book, and creates a sense of progression and stakes. The series blends the humor with compelling space adventure, incorporating interesting science fiction and technology that add depth to the narrative. The characters, and I believe particularly Joe and Skippy, evolve throughout the story, with their relationship and individual growth being the key strength. The wear and tear of their experiences do create a sense of realism and investment. And the second book successfully builds upon the foundation laid in Columbus Day and makes it a satisfying continuation. So the second book's weaknesses, there's actually several weaknesses, despite it being a very popular series. The major flaw is the perceived lack of originality in character development, with many characters I feel feeling bland or one-dimensional. The main character, Joe Bishop, although he is evolving quite nicely, as I explained before, he does feel very much like an original everyman archetype, and the depth of the other characters is often limited to signal personality traits. So, although Joe seems like a very complex character, his complexity often makes the others feel like they're very one-dimensional because, again, they only seem to have one single personality trait. Another significant criticism is the excessive use of filler material, with much of the interaction between Joe and Skippy being considered irrelevant to the main plot, because they seem to banter back and forth a lot, and sometimes for extensive times. And it feels very much like filler. And while some find this filler entertaining, others might find that it detracts from the pacing and overall narrative. Additionally, the ending of the book is often viewed as very underwhelming, and it feels very rushed. To me, it felt very rushed anyway, leaving various plot threads unresolved and potentially diminishing the impact of the original story. Despite these weaknesses, though, the book does have its strong merits. So, in short, although it does have some weaknesses, as every book does, it still has a very strong fan base, and its fan base is very loyal, and the book itself has a very strong core. So it is very humorous. It'll have you laughing. It almost had me falling down laughing. Like, it is absolutely hilarious. I do suggest you guys read this book. Now, let's get into book 3 now. So the third book in the Expeditionary Force series is called Paradise. And it continues the strengths of the other two books with its engaging blend of humor, actions, compelling characters. There's more witty banter between Joe and Skippy, and I know that I said that it can be repetitive, and it very much can. But at this point in the book or in the series, it's still seen as a strength. It still comes off as a strength, and it's still hilarious. But if it continues through 18 books the exact same way that he's been doing it through books 1, 2, and 3, it's going to get old. But right now, it's providing endless entertainment as they navigate the increasingly complex situations that they keep running into. The book maintains a good pace and is well-written battle scenes and non-battle scene action sequences that keep you invested. And while some readers might find the plot somewhat predictable, the overall experience is still highly enjoyable, especially for fans of the series. The comedic timing and witty dialogue between Joe and Skippy are still a major draw. And Skippy's snarky remarks and AI personality and Joe's reactions to his antics provide very consistent laughs throughout the entire book. Alanson, the author, he very much excels at crafting battle scenes and action sequences that keep you on the edge of your seat. But the creative tactics employed by the characters also add some excitement. The characters continue to develop and evolve, and their interactions and relationships very much drive the narrative. Now, when it comes to the pacing of the book, it definitely maintains a good pace, and it's very much balanced with humor and action and character development, and all three of those mixed into one very much keeps me invested in this series. And when I look into the reviews for fans of the series, Paradise is very much providing a continuation of the overarching storyline and further exploration of the characters and universe established in the previous two books. So Paradise, although it has a lot of strengths, it does have its weaknesses as well. One of the weaknesses is the shallowness of some of the characters, a jarring shift to third person, and a sense of predictability in the plot. Now, when it comes to the character shallowness, one thing I found was particularly with Joe Bishop, his character development was very bland. It was very lacking, and I understand that with a soldier's life that can be very hard to do. It's the soldier's life has very limited control, and it can also make that harder for readers to kind of connect with the character on a personal level. And the book, the book, it switches from a first-person narration to a third-person narration, and it does it in a very jarring way. And I found that when you look into the reviews, it turns some readers off. Now, when it comes to the predictability, it has very much, all three books have a very much of a Bishop coming up with a ingeniously clever idea to save the day, and this can make the overall feel be very predictable, because something will happen and you'll just be kind of waiting for Bishop to have this very ingenious, clever idea to save everybody. And if he does that through 18 books, it's going to get old. Skippy's humor, I noticed in the second book, when it comes to reviews, people were finding a lot of his humor to be very overused and often grating. And especially in book 3, it had more people were complaining about that than they were in book 2. So it's already getting to a point in book 3 where a lot of readers are finding a lot of the behaviors to start getting old. So this is the novella, book 3.5, Trouble on Paradise, and Bishop and Skippy is not in this book at all. And Trouble on Paradise offers a compelling look into the aftermath of the events on Paradise, as well as character development of minor characters, which this book definitely needed. It needed a character overhaul so bad. And it provides crucial background information. So the novella introduces or expands, whichever way you want to look at it, on characters like Major Emily Perkins, who play a significant role in a larger narrative. It clarifies events that occur after the third book and sets the stage for future developments. Even without the larger series context, the novella is well paced, it's action packed, and can be enjoyed as a standalone read, actually. In my opinion, anyway. The story very much broadens the scope of this series by showcasing events on Paradise and introducing new dynamics between the humans and the Ruhar, and kind of taking a closer look at the political landscape between the two races. The novella features good character development, in my opinion, particularly with Emily Perkins, and maintains the engaging writing style of the whole series. Now, from what I hear, it this novella very much connects to future books. And while some readers might skip it initially, it seems clear that Trouble on Paradise lays groundwork for the future plot points and character interactions, definitely making it worthwhile for a complete understanding of the series. And that's pretty much what I found in my research of the third book and why he did it. So, in essence, Trouble on Paradise, it seems like a very valuable addition to the Expeditionary Force series, offering both a satisfying story and essential context for the ongoing narrative. So, out of all of its strengths, it does have a few weaknesses. It can feel like filler to some readers, and it doesn't really advance the plot of the main series significantly. And when I looked into Goodreads, a common criticism is that the book did feel like filler to a lot of people, with much of the content not significantly contributing to the overall plot. Some readers felt like it's repetitive, or it was a repetitive rehash of the first book, and the characters were engaging in juvenile banter and jokes. Lack of plot advancement was a big one. The book doesn't really move the main plot line forward significantly. Instead, it focuses on the experiences of Joe's friends on Paradise that he left behind, and a lot of readers found this disappointing. Now, some of the readers found the humor to be overused and stale, making the book feel very repetitive. And that's one thing that I'm noticing with a lot of people on Goodreads is uh, it is very much the same humor used over and over and over again, and a lot of people are starting to find that it's starting to feel old. And I found one review, and this person had a good point about the grunt nostalgia. And they stated that it focused on the human characters' experiences in a way that felt very similar to a World War II movie about Marines. And a lot of people felt that the ending, by extension, the loose ends of the Trouble on Paradise, somewhat lackluster, leaving some plot threads unexplored. So what I like to do sometimes is to compare similar genre style books with each other. And the Expanse and the Expeditionary Force are both space operas, so I'm just going to compare the two. And it might give you a better idea of what this series is like, where the Expanse and the Expeditionary Force are both popular science fiction series that are based on space operas, but they differ significantly on their focus and tone. The Expanse is a more grounded, politically driven space opera with a focus on realistic science and complexities of interstellar politics, whereas the Expeditionary Force, it does have some politics in there, but it's more based on a humorous, action-oriented series centered around a human and his interactions with various alien species. So the Expanse emphasizes on realistic physics and challenges of space travel, including the effects of G-force and radiation. It features political complexities and its conflicts between Earth, Mars, and the Belt, exploring themes of colonialism, power, and resource control. It deals with serious themes like war, social inequality, and the potential dangers of advanced technology. Now, the book series by James S.A. Corey was adapted into a critically acclaimed TV series, whereas the Expeditionary Force, it's derived on humor. The series is known for its witty dialogue, particularly between the main character and his AI companion Skippy. Features frequent combat and adventure, with a focus on defeating alien threats. The Expeditionary Force, well, sci-fi, it incorporates elements like existence of and advanced godlike alien races. Each book generally focuses on a self-contained adventure, even as the overarching plot line progresses. That's the comparison between the two. And in essence, The Expanse offers a more realistic and politically charged vision of the future, while the Expeditionary Force provides a lighter, action-packed, and humorous take on interstellar conflict. So if you kind of want to compare it with another series that is very popular and that you like, there's a comparison. So if you like The Expanse, it doesn't particularly mean that you like the Expeditionary Force, because they are polar opposites. And although it doesn't necessarily mean you like the Expeditionary Force if you enjoy The Expanse, I particularly enjoy The Expanse. I'm not completely done the series, but I do love this series, and uh, I'm probably going to pick up the next book of the series that I'm on very soon, read it, and review all the books books 1 through, I think I'm on book 6, and release it on my channel. But because I did enjoy that, and it is a space opera, it did give me the interest and intrigue to give the Expeditionary Force a try, because it is a space opera as well. So there is that. If you do enjoy space operas, there is a chance that you do enjoy the Expeditionary Force, because it is a space opera. So if you enjoy that genre, you probably will enjoy this. I do recommend it. Although it's more humorous and not as it's not focused on being taken seriously like The Expanse is. It's more kind of a light humor and meant to get you laughing. It is still very much enjoyable. My final thoughts on the Expeditionary Force is, although it's not something that takes itself seriously like The Expanse, it's very enjoyable, and it should. I do suggest you go out and give it a buy, give it a read, give it a shot. It is by an indie author, but again, it has a massive following. It's got a huge, loyal fan base, and you might become the next member of its fan base. Just because it's by an indie author does not mean that the quality is low. And I love that this is by an indie author, because it definitely does break that myth that just because something is self-published, that means that it's of low quality. This started out as a self-published series, and its quality is absolutely through the roof, and you'll absolutely love it. I give this book a 5 out of 5 stars. It is absolutely phenomenal. It does have its weaknesses. The humor can be repetitive, but the next book I need to get is book 4, and so far I haven't found it repetitive. I know some people have, but at this point it still reads as its number one strength to me. But yeah, that's my review on the Expeditionary Force. If you have read the book, give me your thoughts on it. If you haven't, let me know what you thought about this review. If you want to watch another review of mine, I did review 4 books in one video. It's about lit RPG. Give that a watch. And I will respond to every comment that you guys leave. And thank you very much. And that's about it. Thank you. Bye-bye.